Hello everyone, I've got a slightly different video for you today, and it's something that I've been meaning to film for a really long time, and that is to talk about my getting ready routine for when I'm going to the Disney parks. And to be honest, it's largely the same whether I'm going to the Disney parks or not, but I get tons of questions from you guys about hair and makeup, what products I use, how I get things to stay on, and all of that type of thing. And it does change over time, so what I used probably 3 or 4 years ago is totally different to what I use now. So I thought I would do an updated version of this video. As you can see, I'm not at home. I'm currently on a little staycation, and I thought since it's summer and I'm away, this would be a good opportunity to talk about how I get ready for my days in the parks. And first up, I'm going to show you something that is definitely needed in Florida with the heat that you get out there, and this is something that I use in the morning when I'm getting ready, and I also take with me in my park bag, and that is my deodorant. And the brand that I use and absolutely love is Wild deodorant, and they have very kindly sponsored this video. They have a brand new case for summer that I've got here to show you. As I mentioned, it's a refillable deodorant, so you have your case which you keep, and then you just put your refills of the actual product inside. And this is the brand new case that they have brought out for summer. This is the Sunset case. If you guys have been watching me for a long time, you will know that I absolutely love an ombre moment, and this case is so nice. You can get it personalized, as you can see on the top there. I just absolutely love the color. I love the pink inside. You may have seen my recent video where I showed you the Little Mermaid case, and they do still have that in stock. And along with the new Sunset case, they have brought out a fragrance to go with it, which is Tropical Sorbet. The scent is a mix of tropical fruits. When I smell this definitely smells like a citrus swirl at Disney. If anyone's ever had a citrus swirl from Sunshine Tree Terrace in the Magic Kingdom, that is what this really reminds me of. It's very fresh and fruity. I do really love this. They do have a core range of fragrances that are always available. My favorite out of those is the coconut and vanilla, and then they have these exclusive fragrances which come along with different cases that they bring out. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they come back, it just depends. I've absolutely been loving using Wild, and my initial reason for using it is because I just wanted to be a bit more environmentally friendly, to stop as many unnecessary plastics going into landfill as I can. The packaging of the refills is completely recyclable, and of course this you keep, so it's definitely much better from a sustainability point of view, and it also doesn't have any harsh chemicals, which I really like about it as well. And when I'm wearing their deodorants, as I go through the day, if I like move my arm, I can still smell it. Like, the fragrance is really, really good. And I have a discount code for you guys, which is Disney in Detail 20. I'll put it up on the screen here, and you can get 20% off all products on their website. They also have shampoo and soap bars. They do mini versions of the deodorants as well for travel. So I'll put the link in the description. The code is good for 48 hours, and like I was saying, that's 20% off everything. And you can also get your refills on a subscription, so rather than having to remember to go and buy them, you can put them on a recurring subscription, and you can decide how frequent that is. So you've got the option of having that subscription or just purchasing the refills as and when you need them. And they do ship worldwide as well. I know a lot of you guys are in the US and in other countries, so you will still be able to get this wherever you are. So this is definitely one of my must-have products for getting ready, but also taking with me to the parks. You guys will know, if you've been before, what the heat is like out there, so deodorant is an absolute must. And speaking of the sun and the heat over there, one thing that you do have to make sure you do, as well as protecting your skin, so sunscreen is just a given. You absolutely need to put your sunscreen on in the morning. Don't wait until you're out and forget, because you could get burned literally within the first 10 minutes of being outside. So try and put your sunscreen on when you're getting ready. And also for my hair, I use a protective UV spray as well. Sometimes I do have hair extensions, sometimes I don't, but this product can be used for anyone. It's generally just to protect your hair. It's from Beauty Works. It's part of their After Sun collection, and it's a protective hair veil. So basically it minimizes damage that you can get from the sun, but also if you have colored hair, like bleached hair, you can definitely get discoloration. It can go a bit of a, I want to say like peachy orange kind of colour. If you've ever had that happen, you will know exactly what I mean, and a UV spray will definitely help you with preventing that from happening. Also, if you're in the pool, chlorine can have a terrible effect on your hair as well. In terms of my makeup, it does stay on pretty well for the most part. There are a few things I would say are the reason that it stays on. However, the products that I use, there is no miracle product. I have tried a few things over the years that are supposed to be like setting sprays that keep it on. In all honesty, now I don't really use anything like that. It does just stay. I think it's just a combination of products that I'm currently using. It is just very long lasting, but there are a couple of things that I think are very important to mention in terms of how it stays on. I will show you in a moment me applying my makeup, because I did record that this morning, so I'm going to talk you through all of the products that I use. But just a couple of things I wanted to mention. Probably the biggest thing that helps in my makeup not kind of sweating off, sliding all over the place, is this I talk about it all the time, the fan. This is from Amazon. It's one of the Easiac fans, and it is quite powerful. I'll just show you there. So for a small fan, it does have some pretty good power. It does keep you cool, which is obviously the main thing because it's quite unpleasant being too hot. But also it does stop my face from getting overly sweaty. So I think this is probably one of the main reasons that my makeup does stay. I think if I didn't have this, it probably would just be like melting off and sweating and going everywhere. So that is the number one thing. Also, I have worn makeup for many years. I love makeup. I've always worn it. It's just my thing. And I have trained myself over the years to not touch my face too much. So you will occasionally see me do like a little tiny scratch or something like that, but for the most part I have just got used to it over the years not touching my face. So I do think that that is one of the reasons it stays on really well. I just wanted to say that because I know sometimes people have tried the same stuff that I use and they've said, oh, it didn't really stay on me. So I just wanted to mention that I think those two things are a big part of the reason why it does stay on. So let's get into the actual products I use, and before I start doing anything I use an SPF. So I do use anti-aging skincare. I use a retinol eye cream at night time, and I use various different anti-aging skincare. And if you do that, it is really, really important to use SPF on your skin. Some of those products are very strong, and if you use them and then go outside without sunscreen on, that can actually be a major problem. And of course, when it is so hot in Florida, your face will burn very easily. So the current one that I've been using and really liking is from Boots. It's their own brand, and it's the Daily Facial Moisturizing Lotion SPF with hyaluronic acid, and it's SPF 50. I think they do about 3 or 4 different ones in this range that have various different anti-aging products in, or they do various different things, but this is the one that I like. And I apply this to my forehead, around my eyes, my nose, my cheeks. I don't necessarily put it down here because I never burn down here, but definitely like the top half of my face from here upwards. I do apply this before I put anything else on every single day, but definitely when I'm away in Florida. And once I've done that, I use my primer, and this one is from The Ordinary. It's the High Adherence Silicone Primer. I love this. It gives you a really good base underneath your makeup, but I also think it does contribute to the makeup staying on. Like I said, I think it's the combination of products that I've been using recently that is just very good. They all work together very well, so definitely that one is a must. And the foundation I use is this one, which is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I have tried so many foundations over the years. Honestly, I really have tried so many. Drugstore ones, high-end ones, all kinds of different ones. I've had ones in the past that I liked, but then after a while I will go off them. But this one I have stuck to for quite a long time. It has the combination that is really, really difficult to find, that it is very, very good coverage, but also it is not heavy and matte. Most of the foundations that are full coverage are just so thick and cakey, and then once they're on, they just look very matte and dry. And as you get older, obviously I'm 40 this year, when your skin is kind of getting drier, that is not a good look, and it doesn't look as good as it perhaps did when you're younger. So I did need one that actually has a nice finish to it and doesn't have a super kind of matte heavy look, and this one is absolutely perfect, but it also does cover and stay on really well. So it is honestly like the holy grail with foundation. I have to say, some people I know have tried it and it didn't necessarily work as well for them. So with foundation, you do need to try and find what works for you. They do have a matte version of this, which I have tried and I did like it, but this one is a lot better on me. But perhaps if this one wasn't any good, you could try the matte version of this as well. I use this in the shade Beige. Sometimes the shades can be a little bit difficult to get hold of. I think they might have had a bit of a supply chain issue at one time, but I have managed to always be able to get hold of it, and I absolutely love this. And I use a beauty blender to apply this all over. You don't need to use very much. A little bit goes quite a long way. If I am slightly more tanned, I can use the shade Cashew. Is very good as well. So if you're pale like me, but maybe not quite as pale, Cashew could be a good shade, but you can go in obviously to anywhere that has a Laura Mercier counter and be colour matched. And once I've done that, I put on my concealer, and this particular one I'm using, again, I've tried loads over the years. This one is great and really stays in place, like really, really stays. And it's from NYX. So this is a drugstore one. It's not super expensive, and it's the Can't Stop Won't Stop. And I have this in shade Vanilla. This is so good for under eye circles, but any other blemishes that you might have on your face. I find it has like very full coverage, but again, it's not too cakey looking. It does have quite a nice finish. It doesn't look sort of very, very matte, because that can settle into any lines that you've got and just look very, very heavy. And I don't find that this one does that, which is really good. Again, I just apply it with a beauty blender, and I do put that on my eyelids as well. So I put it all around my eyes, and I do use it as a base for my eyeshadow, and I find that that works really well. Once I've done that, I'm ready to apply eyeshadow, and before I do that, I use one of my Holy Grail products, which is my Beauty Pie One Powder Wonder. This powder is absolutely incredible. It's for all over your face, but I also use a little bit of this just underneath my eyeshadow. So I just put it all over the lid and right up to my brow bone. Speaking of brows, by the way, my brows are microbladed. You can see there that they look like they're already done, but I haven't put anything on them, but it is because they have been microbladed, which is the best investment I ever made. Honestly, it was just the best thing ever. The healing process is not fun, but I love the way that they look and the fact that I don't have to ever do anything to them. So once I put a little bit of this on as a base, I then go in with my eyeshadow. And this is the palette that I'm currently using, which is the 18 Karat Matte Essentials from Morphe. I actually got this in Target on a recent trip. And the first shade that I go in with is this one here. So I use that in the crease. I don't put it all the way into the inner corner, so probably the outer 2/3 of my eye, but not all the way in to the middle. And I just apply that using a MAC 217 brush. The MAC 217 I think is one of the best makeup brushes of all time. I absolutely love it. And once I've done that, I go in with this shade here, so the third lightest one, and I just use a Zoeva blending brush, a tapered blending brush, and I just use that colour to kind of blend, make sure everything is really, really well blended. With eyeshadow, it doesn't have to take a very long time to do it. I actually don't take very long at all putting eyeshadow on, but it's just a question of making sure that you have blended it properly. Once I've done that, I just take the beauty blender again and just kind of clean up around the edges, make sure that no eyeshadow has kind of gone too far down at the edges. Then I take this very lightest shade and just put a little bit of that on the very inner corners of my eyes. I don't take it all the way across, just very much in the inner corner, not anywhere else. Then I will go in with this second lightest one, and I put a bit of that on my lid, just on the kind of inner corner, so not where I've put the darker shade on the outside. I just put a little bit kind of on the lid to brighten that up. And then I go back in with this shade again. Sometimes I use a bit of this darker one as well, but a combination of these two or just this one. And I put that underneath my lower lash line. I never use a pencil eyeliner like in my waterline. I just put this underneath. I find that stays on better. Next I go in with my liquid liner, and this is the one I use from Physicians Formula. This is called the Eye Booster. They have an ordinary one and they also have a waterproof one. I do like both. I'm quite happy with either. I find both of them stay on pretty well. I actually should really test the theory of which one is better, because whichever one I put on, it stays, so you really don't need the waterproof. You can just go for this ordinary one. And I just take that all the way along my lash line, and then I just do a little flick on the outer edge. And once I've done that, I just take a cotton bud with some micellar water, the Garnier micellar water, and I just go over my eyebrows, because once I've applied foundation or I've put concealer or whatever on, it can kind of get onto my eyebrows and then they don't look as dark as they should. So I just take the cotton bud and run that over so that my eyebrows are looking as they should. But honestly, it is one of the best things I've ever done, having my eyebrows microbladed. It's not cheap. I will link below the person who did it for me, because she is honestly a total genius. She does have quite a long wait list, but she's so good. I actually hardly have any of my own eyebrows, so you can see kind of how good of a job that she does, because most of this is not my real eyebrows. Next, I use a bit of bronzer and blush. I've currently got this one from Rimmel. I don't really know what this is called. The shade is Coral Glow. So it's just kind of one of their lighter versions. And I will use the bronzer just as a contour. I don't bother like contouring all over my face or doing anything like that. I just put it along my cheekbones, because I do have quite a round face. I do need some bronzer just on my cheekbone area. Then I will use the blush and just put a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. Not very much, I just put a tiny little bit. And then I take a brush from Real Techniques and I just blend it all over. It's like a flat top brush. And the contour brush I used was Real Techniques as well. So I just kind of blend that all in, buff it in. I do use quite a heavy hand when I do that, just to make sure that it is all blended, because it looks crazy when you first apply it. So once I've done that, I then go for the Beauty Pie powder again, the One Powder Wonder, and I just take a brush and put that basically on my T-zone, so my chin, my nose, my forehead, anywhere that would usually get a little bit shiny. I don't put it all over my face, but this powder is excellent. Although it looks really white, it doesn't kind of go on your face really white, and it really gives you a very even kind of finish. So if I get closer, it doesn't look ridiculously matte, like you can still see a bit of normal kind of shine on my face, but it just smooths everything out really, really well. And I do think that this is what's responsible for the nice kind of finish. I definitely love this product so much. Oh, and I also do a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes. I never used to, but I did start doing it. I quite like how it looks, as long as it is not too much or too clumpy. I don't like that really kind of heavy clumpy look of mascara on my bottom lashes, so I just put a little bit of that on. Then it's time for lipstick, and this current one that I've been using is from L'Oreal. I got this in Walmart actually last time I was in the States. I don't know if you can get this in the UK. You might be able to, but I have a horrible feeling it might be that you can't get all of the shades, or it might be like something similar but not exactly the same thing. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible matte liquid lipstick, and this one is in shade Tropical Vacay, which is very fitting for this video with the new Tropical Sorbet scent from Wild. And this is the one that I'll be wearing most often in my videos. If I'm ever wearing red, it is always Santa Sangre from Kat Von D, which is now called something slightly different, but I think the shade is still called Santa Sangre. But this is the one that I use most often. It's just kind of like a corally brown sort of shade, and I just love it. The good thing about this, it's got a very pointy brush, so you don't need lip liner or anything. You can really do a good outline with this, and then obviously just fill in the middle, but it does stay on very, very well even through eating and drinking. So I've been really pleased with this. I do have it in another shade I bought as well, which is Road Tripping. This one is more of a kind of pinky purple. It's a little bit darker, and I would like to try out one of their red shades as well, so perhaps next time I go I will try it in red. But I do love my Kat Von D red, so I'm quite happy with that. And then the final thing that I do is my lashes. Now, I do wear false lashes to the parks. I don't wear false lashes every single day. I don't even wear makeup every single day at home. I quite often go makeup free. Obviously when I'm out and about, or I'm filming, or I'm out in the theme parks or whatever, I do wear my false lashes. The main reason for it, if I'm totally honest, is because it's quicker for me than putting on mascara. My own lashes are not very good. They're quite short. They don't have any curl to them. Whatever type of mascara I try and use doesn't really make much difference. I would have to use an eyelash curler to get any kind of decent eyelashes, and by the time I've done that and then put the mascara on, it is honestly quicker for me to put false lashes on. I will show you now me applying them. I did record it. And once you put the glue onto the lash, I do leave it for around 1 minute before I put it on. You do have to let the glue go tacky, and that is actually extremely important. If you try and put them on while the glue is too wet, that's when they start sliding around and they don't stay where they're supposed to. So let your glue dry for about 1 minute before you apply them. But you can see here I'm just about to apply it. I just take them on the tweezers and just place it on. That's pretty much it. It does take practice, I have to say. So when I first started using false lashes, I would have the same problem as everyone else, where they're either not sticking, they're not in the right place, they're going all over the place, they keep coming off and whatnot. It really is just the angle that you are placing them. I always use a small mirror, and you just need to go in at a tilted kind of angle with the mirror down so that you are seeing exactly where you're placing them. But once you get the knack of it, it is so quick. You've just seen there how quick it is for me to apply them. I just place them on. So if I had to curl lashes and put mascara on and everything else, that would take me a really long time. Obviously it's not for everyone using false lashes. They are reasonably glam. The ones that I use are from Huda Beauty, and they are called Samantha. They're my favorite ones. If you did want something a bit less glamorous, I have the ones from Kiss Lash, which are called Veil. Those are still really nice, but they're nowhere near as dramatic as the Huda ones. If you use mascara, I would recommend using a waterproof, just because of water rides, sweating, crying with happiness at Disney, all of these different things, definitely I would use a waterproof mascara if you are going to use it. And I use a waterproof one on my lower lashes. I will link the products that I've used in the description where possible, if I can link them. And that is everything I do. So I now don't use a setting spray. I used to use something called Ben Nye Final Seal, which is very good. It's actually for professional makeup, and it's something that you kind of dab on or spray on like a setting spray. It's really for stage makeup. It does, I think, help it to stay on. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I'm not very keen on how it feels. It does feel a bit tacky and sticky on my face, and I didn't find that it was making enough of a difference for me to carry on using it. So now I actually don't use any setting spray at all. This would be me ready to go into the parks. And yeah, it just stays on with the help of the fan, not touching my face too much. Sometimes if I go to the restrooms throughout the day, I'll take a little bit of tissue and just dab if I've been like particularly sweaty or something, or just, you know, in my T-zone. The only thing I take with me to the park in terms of makeup is my One Powder Wonder and a brush, because I will sometimes put a bit of that on if I'm a little bit shiny. And I do take my lipstick just in case I've eaten something very oily and it has come off. But other than that, I don't do anything throughout the day. I never reapply concealer or foundation or anything like that. I just don't. I've never got time. I'm always enjoying myself in the parks. And yeah, that is everything I do. So I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know exactly what products I use, and just to show you me applying it. I'm no expert on applying makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. There are some great makeup artists if you're looking for actual advice on that on YouTube. But I do get so many questions from you guys about my hair and makeup, what I use and how it stays. So I just wanted to do this video for you to explain all of that. If you have any questions about anything, please do let me know in the comments. If there's anything specific about the makeup or anything I haven't covered or you wanted to ask, then please do. And don't forget to check out the new Sunset case from Wild and the new Tropical Sorbet scent, or the Little Mermaid one if you're still looking for that. They still do have it in stock at the moment, but I'd be quick because once it's gone, it's gone. And that code again is Disney in Detail 20 to get your 20% off everything. So I'm gonna head off now and do, I'm not gonna say sightseeing because I'm in Devon and I live not very far from there. So I've been to all of these places before, but I'm going to jump on a train and maybe go down to Dawlish or somewhere. I'm just having a couple of days to myself. I'm not vlogging it. I've done vlogs before and shown the same places that I'm going to on this trip. But I'm just going to take the rest of the day off because I've had a lot of travel recently. I've been to Florida again unexpectedly, been doing a lot of editing, and of course I'm filming today. So yeah, I'm just going to go off now and do that. There'll be another vlog coming up on Saturday from the recent press trip that I did. And once those vlogs are finished, I have a few other things. I've got a video on Disney transportation that's coming up, how to get to different places, not just from your hotel to the park, because that's fairly obvious, but just other things you might be doing, getting to dining reservations and what have you, that type of thing. Then I also have a very exciting video coming up, which is going to be an ultimate guide to booking and planning Walt Disney World trip. I've been meaning to do this for a long time because I do give some tips here and there, but this one is going to be kind of a overall how to book and plan everything kind of video. So it's taking me a while to get it planned, get it together and get it filmed and edited, but that'll be coming up soon as well over the summer. And then I will be back out in Florida in September. I'll be covering the Halloween festivities, the Halloween party in the Magic Kingdom, and of course the Food and Wine Festival over in Epcot as well. So if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe and tap the bell icon to always be notified when I upload a new video, because I've got lots coming up later this year. Thank you guys so much as always for watching this video, for watching all of my vlogs, being so supportive as you always are. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.